Hey guys, it's Fuzz. Welcome back to another Stardew Valley video. Today's video is 10 things you shouldn't do in Stardew Valley, which I'm definitely guilty of when I first started Stardew Valley. And here are ways that you can improve on these actions if you find yourself doing this in your gameplay. Let's get into it. What is up, y'all? It's your girl Fuzz, and for number 10, we have do not sell all your resources, even if you're low on money. I know in your first and second year of Stardew Valley, it might be difficult to build yourself some sort of income, especially some sort of passive income, but definitely don't try and sell all your resources, including stone and wood. It might be easy to do so if you find yourself not using these resources yet, but whether this is on your farm, off the farm, or even in the mines, I definitely suggest keeping all your resources in chests. You have no idea how many times I've needed a certain amount of resources, but I know that I've sold them only a few days ago. And because of that, now I have to go back out into the world and find those resources again, making me spend days to get those resources back. If you can keep your hands on these resources for as long as you can, I definitely recommend it. Number 9, alongside the idea of selling your items to make yourself some money, be sure that your items can change into something better before selling them to make you even more profit. Training your time to increase an item's profit is probably the best way that you can make more money in Stardew Valley. Whether that's putting your crop into a preserve jar or a keg, turning your raw animal products into cheeses and mayonnaise, even placing your bee houses next to flowers to produce that type of flower's honey. There is always a way that most items produced on your farm can be improved by trading in some time, and that wait will make you some decent profit over time. Also, better quality items will produce you even more income, so being consistent both on and off your farm could make that much more of a difference. For number 8, every event that appears in Stardew Valley during the year will repeat itself every year after that. But some of these events are not worth going back if you've already gone for the first time. This includes the event Dance of the Moonlight Jellies, which is really nice to see the first time, and obviously you can interact with Pelican Town residents to increase your friendship with them, but after that there's really no use to go to this event. There are only a handful of events that I would suggest going back to every year, and that includes the Egg Festival that happens on the 13th of spring, one for the strawberry seeds as they are quite profitable, and you get yourself 1,000 gold after winning the first time of the egg hunt. The second one is if you're dating a bachelor or bachelorette, but that's going to the flower dance on the 24th of spring. You can dance with that special someone once you've reached 4 hearts with them, and dancing with them will get you 250 friendship points. The Spirit's Eve that occurs on the 27th of 4 gives you a golden pumpkin every year, and you can either sell this for 2,500 gold or it is a universally loved gift by every Pelican Town resident. The night market that occurs between the 15th and the 17th of winter is a great event to attend to every year and during each day. Not only is the traveling merchant there every day, but also the desert trader is there to give you a coffee every time you speak to them. And there's the submarine where you can trade in some gold and get yourself some really cool fish. And lastly is the Feast of the Winter Star that occurs on the 25th of winter, because some Pelican Town residents can give you some cool items and some rare items that you actually can't get anywhere else in Stardew Valley. Number 7, this is like a mid to late game tip. If you find yourself just walking about in Pelican Town, it's probably best to have a way to improve your movement speed instead. This includes having a stable and possibly a horse flute to have a horse to ride around, consuming foods and drinks at the same time to increase your movement speed, walk totems to take you to different places in Stardew Valley and to return you home, or placing obelisks on your farm and having a return scepter to do what a warp totem can do. By some point, you should have a consistent way to get between places really quickly instead of just walking around, since time is of the essence. Number 6, if you find yourself keeping a whole lot of fishes and not doing anything with them, it's probably best just to sell them. If you'd like, you can keep a quality of the fishes that you have, either keep the highest quality or lowest quality, and sell everything else. You can either use your fishes in recipes or in cooking recipes. But if you don't have another use for them, it is best to just sell them. Always keep a single stack of the fish that you want and then sell the rest of them because you might be surprised how much money you'll make out of them. Number 5 is a really good early game tip, but there's always been a discussion about what we should do with our quality crops, either sell them or turn them into something better. If you're looking for some early money, it is best to sell your gold quality crops, keeping your normal qualities to put them in preserve jars or kegs. And then it is up to you whether you sell or turn them into something better when they're silver quality. It is also suggested to use the best quality crops of these into the mines, because the better the quality they are, the more energy and health they'll give you back when consumed. Figure out what works for you when it comes to crops, whether you want to straight up sell them, turn them into something better, or to use them when your energy and health is low. Number 4 is always drain your energy for the day before you go to sleep, even when your character says that they're exhausted. When your character first tells you that they're exhausted, you still have 20 energy points that you have left over, which means you still have energy to do things. Just be aware of how many energy points your actions complete, because you can still use your energy even when your character says they're exhausted. Although when your character reaches 0 energy, this is when your character is completely exhausted, so be sure not to get to this state. Here is a late game tip. If you're not afraid of losing 1,000 gold, it is best to completely drain yourself, whether you're in the mines or Skull Cavern or roaming about, because when your energy reaches 0, you only have the possibility of losing 1,000 gold. Whereas if your health reaches 0, this is where your character may lose items. Number 3, I feel like I need to stress even more, but be sure to always have a stack of food when you're roaming around Pelican Town. No matter how you find yourself draining your health and your energy, it's always best to keep some food with you. The spa, for example, in Pelican Town is a really good way to increase your energy by just chilling in the water. But the process of standing in the water to do so is really time consuming. I've rarely used the spa in any of my gameplay, so I definitely suggest having some sort of food with you. You can either buy your food, including going to the Stardew Saloon. You can either cook your recipes if that's your preference, or my preference is turning my milk into cheeses, and then aging the cheese in a cask to get better quality cheeses. Always have a consistent way of having food on you, and always have at least one single stack of food with you, because you never know when you're going to need it. Number 2 is a tip that I always recommend to people, but if you have the 1.5 update, be aware of the items and the new recipes that are in there, because they may just help you out your farm even more. If you have Ginger Island, there's a way to get an item called the Deconstructor, which I'll keep a secret if you haven't got Ginger Island unlocked yet, which may not look useful, but it is actually when you consider what it does. A deconstructor will take out the most useful resource out of an item when placed in there. Items that only require one type of resource when placed in the deconstructor will refund you back that resource. Here is a tip, and I have to shout out my Twitch chat for this, but let's say you need a lot of stone on your farm. You can actually trade a jade on Sundays at the Desert Trader, and for every staircase you put in the deconstructor, you get in return 99 stone. This is a way you can get your hand on a whole bunch of stone instead of having to go out and mine them. Another item I use all the time is from a special order from Caroline, and that's the solar panels. Solar panels, when placed down, only require 7 sunny days to produce you a battery pack. A third notable mention is a special order from the wizard, and that is Monster Mask. If you're trying to wait for a certain enemy because of the item drops they have, or you're still trying to complete the monster eradication goal at the Adventure Guild, then the Monster Mask is the item that you need. So definitely consider the items you can get in the special orders and the items you can get at Ginger Island. And number 1 is super easy, remove Robin. I'm kidding, am I? No, in all seriousness, my number 1 tip is if you don't have the money or the resources to place yourself a shed, which I definitely suggest you should look into, then why not place your items elsewhere in other buildings that you might possibly have on your farm? Once you start building up your farm a little bit more, you'll start to realize that room starts to run out really quickly. In early game, if sheds are too expensive or too much money for you, why not consider placing down a different building that you can afford? Or if you've got a building that's already been placed down, such as a coop or a barn, why not use the interior of these to put your machines within them? Wherever you roam around in Pelican Town, an item can be placed, whether it's on your farm, off your farm, or within any type of building. If you've used your resources on your farm to do something such as expanding your farmhouse, then why not consider using the interior of that space to place some items in there? And those are the 10 things I can definitely suggest if you find yourself doing those, and ways that you can improve on that. If you've liked today's video, why not consider leaving a like? And if you want to see more videos, why not consider subscribing? I hope to see you next time, guys. Do take care of yourselves. Take care.